15 minutes after 7, time to do AM business. Now, this year's edition of the Kente Festival came off this weekend at Agotime Petoi in the Volta region. The festival, known in local parlance as Agba Mevoza, is used to celebrate the beautiful and intricate art of Kente weaving by showcasing indigenous Kente fabrics. But what commercial prospects does Kente weaving hold for those engaged in it, as well as the economy at large? Sheila Tamaklo has been speaking with a weaver and has come through with this report.
Kente is said to be the #1 hand-woven cloth in the world. It signifies royalty by way of its supreme colors. To better understand how the colorful threads are woven with precision and the patience of an artist, we took a tour with master weaver Wilson Fiakonu Atta, who has set up here in Accra for the past 16 years.
I do nothing apart of weaving. There's nothing about weaving that somebody will bring to me that I have no experience. Nothing about designing or even sewing. Somebody will bring to me that I have no experience. Excellent. After we went and buy the materials and come to the shop, the next thing we need to do is that now we need to put on a peg. So after laying the background, then we need to fold it. We have something very round, circle. Then we fold it on it after that, so that it will be very tight that it will not miss. Then after that, you just bring it to the loom. And when you come to the loom now, then you have to set it depends. Maybe if you want to do a design one, then you're gonna use the two net, the first and the second one. So you start from the first. You see, when you see the net, it's two. It's two. This is one. This is two. So we start from the front and back. You must be very careful that you start one after the other, one after the other. You go like this to the end of the net.
Patterns can be very simple or very complex with various meanings. But where and how are the raw materials for the fabric sourced? We followed our weaver to Medina, where he sourced his materials.
Normally we get it from Seka, we get some also from Newtown, and we get some also from maybe Medina or Kamajan. We get some also as Accra. It depends. Sometimes you can go to the factory, you cannot get all the colors that you need for the design of the cloth. So it depends. You have to go and check other stores to be able to get what you wanted to do.
The beautiful craft does not only serve as a cultural heritage, but also a source of employment to many young persons.
I've trained a lot of people, and I look small, but I train a lot of people. Now me that know how to weave and all those things. But since I train a lot of people, because some of them too, they does not have the faith, and they are not determined to. So some of them, when they keep on doing it and how they thought things will move along, then they will just quit. Some of the students who normally do this after they came for practical here, some of them will just came just a man, then I will train them. That's what I always do.
Until recent years, when the fake inferior Kente from China flooded the markets, the fabric had been exclusively produced in Ghana, precisely Bonre in the Shanti region and Agotime in the Volta region. The economic potential of the Kente industry, including job creation and foreign exchange, is however yet to be fully exploited due to many factors militating against the industry's growth.
When those Chinese printing came in, that messed up everything. Just mess up everything. Those time people who came in normal and they will place an order to get in place. So if the money too is not good, you can still, because it is quantity. So you get an interest and so it will be okay. But nowadays, nothing like that, because things are changing. The economy also is rising. So our materials are very expensive, and the way, so when you call them the price, some of them they will not buy. They will not buy. So they will rather go to the market and buy the one with the yard, 7 yards or 10 yards long. And they too, they will sew it and use it 100,000 hair. Then why people cannot do this thing? They can only print it. Have to stop them so that this one can be something that even if they want to get one, it will be very expensive. Then it will be money in the country, the youth will be employed. Nowadays, it will come to some time, if 4 people will look for Kente weavers to weave for them, they will not see it again. It will come to some time, this work will finally stop because we are not getting any money. Things are not moving well.
Kente continues to generate appeal on the international market. It could therefore be seen as one of many non-traditional exports that could generate significant revenues for the nation. This is, however, on condition that the industry is supported with the requisite policies and investments.
That was my colleague Sheila Tamaklo spending time with a Kente weaver. As you can see, I've got my Kente here, a very beautiful one, and I've got 2 gentlemen men in the studio. We're going to have a conversation about the economics of the Kente industry. Is it doing well? What are the policies that are being put together to revamp the industry? I've got Elias Agbontolo Temanu. He is the president of the Weavers Association, chairman of the Kente Weavers Association, and also I've got Joseph Toku. He is a financial committee chairman of the Agotime Kente Festival. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
You look very good.
Thank you.
Does this have a name?
Yeah.
What is it?
This is a step. It means a journey of a miles begin with a step.
Okay.
So you can see some.
So we have a way of bringing our proverbs.
Yeah.
When we are weaving Kente. And
yes.
Interesting, very beautiful. And yours? I've never seen this type of Kente before.
Yeah, this is a very unique one. It's indeed one of the old concepts. It's called Titriku.
Titriku. And the name Titriku, Tubofia, Duposi. When we translate it, it's a cloth is very thick, which can last for over 200 years. And it's also beauty pageant cloth. And where anytime you wear it, the crowd will draw near you. That's why we call it Duposi.
Interesting.
So the name Titriku, Tubofia, Duposi.
So who names the cloth? The designer?
The designer, actually, the designers are the people who name the cloth. Anytime you weave some cloth, you name it. It depends on the way.
The way it's done. Okay, now let's talk about how the industry is doing with regards to economics. And let's speak to you as the financial committee chairman of the just ended Agotime Kente Festival. In terms of economics, how did the festival do? Because I know that the festival was also a policy that was initiated to revamp the dyeing sector.
That's correct. Thank you, Sheila. I think that that really
Bernice.
Sorry, Bernice.
Yes.
Our major objective was to create opportunity for our people in this in Agotime. In the past, and in fact, if you visit Agotime, you see a lot of nice buildings that were put up so many years ago, and most of that income came from Kente weaving. But a time came where the business was beginning to decline. So the purpose of this festival was to revamp it and create opportunity for increased sales within the country and beyond. And I think that we would say that we've been quite successful in doing that, because as you would know, Kente is the main cloth we put on the festival. So prior to the festival, there is significant demand for Kente by the males, the females, the children, even visitors. We are yet to put a figure on the total sales, but we would estimate that within the festival period, not less than 200,000 cedis worth of products, being the kente, the strips and ties, bangles, was sold or realized within the period, which, given our community, that is a significant amount.
And I like it when you mention bangles and earrings, because the Kente weavers are getting smart now and getting trendy as well, because young people don't only want to, you know, wrap a cloth around themselves like you have done. Some would want to wear it as a bangle, an earring, or even a bag or shoes, you know. So it's a great thing you mentioned. But as the chairman of the Kente Weavers Association, what are the challenges, economic challenges, that you face in this industry?
I may put it in this way. First, we don't have a proper place as an industry, because most of the people are just weaving the cloth in their own house. When it is time of raining, you can no more weave. And nowadays, cloth is being used for wedding, adoring, a whole lot of festivals are using it. But we want a Kente village, whereby the government will assist us to build that place for us, so that when the place is being built for us, whether it is raining or not, you can still do your business and make the cloth at the exact time the person wants it. That's the first challenge that we are facing. The second one is the financial aspect. In this case, Kente, some of the designs can take about 3 months, 4 months. It depends on how difficult it is. When you go in for a loan at the bank, the interest rate is very high. Before we use 3-4 months to do one male cloth, which the design is very difficult, the interest that will come upon the money for you cannot help you to gain anything. So we are appealing to the government to assist us with some flexible loan that can help us to continue this industry.
So you want flexible loans peculiar to the Kente weaving industry.
Yeah.
But aside the government and aside the Agotime Kente Festival, what are some of the other things as an association you're doing to help yourselves in dealing with the economic challenges facing the Kente industry?
As for association, we have been doing some contribution ourselves. For example, when we learned that the president is coming, association have to make quickly and pass something and let the president know that this is the business that the Agotime people do. In fact, in Agotime, a whole lot of people are involved in this Kente business.
And so you're making contributions and helping your own people within the association. Let's talk about exports. And obviously, the sales may not be as you wanted, but is the international market warming up to the use of Kente?
Yeah, precisely. I think that there's significant potential out there. And we do believe that the actual exports as we have it today is nothing to be compared to the market potential for Kente, for the strips. As you may be aware, many universities outside, especially in Americas and Europe, would use the Kente strips for their graduation ceremony. Let's take a rough estimate that we had 1 million students graduating from these universities, and each was being given a strip, or so as we put it, around their neck during their graduation. That one is sold out there for roughly about $20. So 1 million, if we were to be exporting 1 million of that in a year, we'll be looking at $20 million. But as you may be aware, the entire non-traditional export revenue of this country from the handicraft sector is less than $500 million in a year. And we are saying Kente alone could be contributing.
Has a potential.
Yes, to add to that.
To
yes.
create more.
But today, as we speak, less than $500,000 of export revenue is realized from the few people who are dealing in the products. And certainly because there are a number of challenges regarding even their access to that market. Let me add that Kente is one of the products that come under the AGWA initiative. And so many Kente weavers have the opportunity to send Kente to the US without having to pay the duties associated. But that's not about it. There's a lot more. They must be able to identify the destination. They should be able to get the orders. And when they get the large orders, indeed must have capacity at home, as he's saying, with the village, yes. Because without the Kente village, if we had an order for 1 million strips today, it could be challenging to meet that order within the specified time, because the structures we have back in the home is not adequate to be able to meet the demand as we would expect. And that's the more reason why we are pushing for this Kente village project, because it will be that one-stop shop where we'll be able to put all the weavers together and give them better looms so they can actually produce more and meet the demand out there. Yes.
So, Elias, how long have you been weaving?
Since I completed elementary school.
That's about how many years ago, roughly?
I completed elementary school around 1980.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
And for you, between that time and now, economically, which was a better period?
I may say formally is better than now.
So
because from in the 1990s to 2000, I've been bringing cloth to Accra. I sell a cloth at a pension house, Cocoa Board, Ghana Petroleum Corporation at Tema. I meet a whole lot of people. They are my customers. And we have two categories of Kente cloth. In every language, we call some bakbai or huse, which we call in English speed weaving. And then we have the design one, which we call Adamvo. Adamvo, that one you have to use.
Takes a lot of time.
It takes a lot of time. You have to use your talent and design something which your next Kente weaver will find it very difficult to do. So that's it. So between 1995 to 2000, going
thereabout, it's been down.
Yeah,
it's taken a turn for worse. So, for you, what do you think could be the factors that have created this kind of situation where, obviously, if everybody enters a business venture, you're expecting that as the years go, you'd rather be seeing more profit, but for you, it's the opposite story. It's actually declining for you. What do you think could have resulted in this?
First, I'll put it this way. Formerly, the people were demanding for speed one, which can take you some short time. But now, majority people interest are no more in the speed weaving. Everybody want a design one, which you look attractive with colorful designs. And that one alone can take you, when the design is very difficult, it can take you about 4 months, you alone, to complete a full mail cloth.
And that's about how many yards for a full mail cloth?
About, like the one...
Put it about 4 yards.
No, it's more about 8 yards.
Yeah.
About 8 yards,
yeah.
Okay.
So, before you complete that cloth, the money that you went for in the bank, the interest alone can take all the profits from the cloth.
Okay.
And the raining season, when it is raining season too, you cannot weave the cloth.
So the way the looms are designed, you can't put them in the room, can you?
You can put it in a room.
Okay.
But when you don't have the money to
create a shed or a room for it.
It has to be a long room.
Exactly.
Because the loom is quite lengthy.
Yeah. So this factors make the business decided to be declining small. That's why we are appealing for the government to come into our aid for this Kente village project. Then all of us can gather into one place and do this business. Because Kente, the demand for Kente now is in a huge.
So the problem is that there's high demand, but you're not in the right capacity to deliver.
Yeah.
And you want government to support you. Let's talk about the influx of these Chinese Kente. Obviously, it's not woven like this. Right. It's just printed material. But how has it affected your industry, and what do you want, or what do you suggest can be done to reduce the impact or totally take these materials off the market?
I think the government have to bring some law that will stop these Chinese printing this kind of our design, because they come for one strip, like the one you are wearing. They come for it and take it away and go and print it in this thing. And even if you are not very careful, you cannot differentiate between the printer's one and the original one. So that's our problem now. That thing too has been bringing our business down. So we are appealing to the government to stop these Chinese people printing these printers so that our business can grow.
All right, and for you?
Yeah, I think that's a major challenge. We already seem to be facing the negative impact of the Chinese taking over this business. And of course, it comes to the point I made earlier about our ability to react or respond to the market demand. Because if the demand is there and we are unable to respond within the time, it creates opportunity for somebody else to come in. Of course, today we are in a global village. I'm not sure how easy it will be for government to restrict the Chinese products, especially if they are supplying to other markets and not into a market.
And not into the country.
Okay, so what we think we should be doing is to increase our capacity to be able to meet the market and also be able to position our products and show the distinctive features of Kente as it's being done from Agotime or from Ghana, as we would say. Because we believe that by all standards, what we are doing is not exactly what the Chinese are doing. And so there is still a market for our product. And we still have the opportunity to explore that market. If we are able to also flood the markets here in Ghana and outside with our products, the consumers or the buyers will certainly be able to see what is quality and what is not quality. And I would believe that people certainly always want, value for their money. And without even any government effort to ban the influx or the supply of that, our Kente would certainly attract attention and bring in the revenue. But
for many, Kente is too expensive. It's too expensive. So they'd rather go for the printed version of it, and they're okay.
Well, that's an interesting statement, because for those of us who are in finance, we always say you should always look at the cost benefit of any decision or any product you are buying. So if you talk about expensive Kente, you are talking about a quality product. What I'm wearing here, for example, yes, may cost a few thousands of cedis. But this is Kente that would be there for my children and maybe my grandchildren to come and be able to use. That's how it's a durable asset. So indeed, the name Agbamovoza, the Agbamovo, which is what we call it, it's from the concept that when you buy Kente, it will be in your cloth, for forever. And so if you look at it that way against something which, as we say, fast, quickly done, cheap, how long and how elegant would you appear if anybody wore an Agotime Kente or a Ghanaian Kente, let's say from our colleagues in Bonwe, let me give them also some credit. If anybody wore that the real, authentic Kente, and another went to buy the fast fastly made product from China or wherever, the difference will always be clear, and over time, it will be evident as to who bought a better product. So in terms of cost, not really. And as he said, it takes on average 2 to 3 months to weave a cloth of this kind. And the margins that they make are very little, not more than 25% of the sale price goes to the weavers. So you're talking about somebody who would take a month to weave a Kente cloth that may be sold, say, for 1,500 cedis. Out of that 1,500, his net income might just be in the region, at best, at 250 cedis. So look at 1 month of work and making 250 cedis income. Really, it's not as profitable. And like he said, that is part of the reason he thinks his condition is not getting better, because cost of living is going up, and yet his margins are declining because of competition coming from people who have what it takes to replicate and dump the market with products which are not in any way of the same level of quality. Okay.
So let's talk about also the industry. Are we getting more youth still interested? Are young people still interested in weaving Kente? Like you say, in Agotime, I think I heard someone say almost every house has a loom. Are the young people still interested? Can we keep the tradition? Does it look healthy for the future for Kente?
That is indeed one of our biggest challenges, and also the more reason why we are particular about this festival. We're making it an annual event, and also to bring back the recognition of this weaving as a business, because today we are in a fast world, and young people want everything fast. So you ask a young person to stay in the loom for 1 month to produce a cloth, it sounds difficult for them. So in reality, there is a decline in interest from the youth, and but we, through this festival, trying to promote it. We have a weaving contest, and significantly we try to encourage the young people to be part of the contest. We give them awards, and as we say, with this one-stop Kente village, we believe it will be an opportunity for the young people to be trained, and we are looking at opportunity in the long term where we will be able to also improve on the loom, okay, so that it can at least produce this cloth in a shorter time, as to meet the expectation of young people of today. I'm sure that
find a way to match technology and tradition.
Exactly.
Probably. But aside the Kente Festival, which is a good initiative, and you've been doing this for about 21 years.
That's right. Yeah.
Congratulations on that. What else do you think can be done? What other factors can we marry with this Kente Festival, so that it's not left only on the shoulders of the Kente Festival?
Well, thank you. I think the festival, as you said, is just one out of many things that we can do. I think that we should, as a nation, as a country, recognize the role of this Kente as part of our fabric. Okay, I mean, today, as you said, foreigners seem to be wearing Kente more than we do. You can see he's in a smock. So it's just not the cloth. Some would say the cloth is a challenge, but then we have the Kente has several uses. The market, I mean, for table, I mean, designs and so forth. So I believe that the entire fabric industry can begin to look at it. Tourism is a major potential, okay, that needs to be networked with, linked to the Kente industry, so that we could be, I mean, all the supply chain. I mean, during the festival, for example, we noticed hotels are a challenge. So there should be opportunity to add on all the social services. We need hotels, we need hospitals, all that will create, a bigger business. So this entire, the Kente is just supposed to provoke the business, thinking that we expect ancillary services to be added on. We expect investors to look at the opportunity of, building hotels at Gotime and much of and all the way. We expect more social services, the hospitals. We expect more schools. We expect Kente to be part of the craft work or the handicraft work in many of the schools, so that it would, achieve its importance in this country.
All right. So lastly, for 21 years, I don't know how long you've been working with the committee that organizes the Agotime Kente Festival, but are we making headway? Are you pleased with what you're achieving so far?
I think so. I think so. I have been associated with the planning for since '95, thereabout. Not as a member, but as an associate, because my seniors, my uncles, were part of this committee right from inception, and I have seen this festival, grow from year on year. And I think that every year we get more encouraged that we are getting towards the target area. Indeed, now everybody tends to understand that there is still opportunity in the Kente business. And like we just said, many of the young people are beginning to reconsider coming back into the industry. We think that we have achieved, in repositioning Agotime traditional area, for example, as the one-stop point, stop for Kente. If you are looking for authentic Kente, you should be looking elsewhere than Agotime. We think that the festival has drawn, the numbers that are coming in. In fact, at this recent festival, we estimate that nearly 10,000 visitors attended the festival, which was significant. Over time, we now have an American group, for example, who have put this festival on their calendar. And every year, they actually organize a tourist destination or team to come to Agotime and be part of it. Beyond, we have seen over the period also a unity of the natives and the chiefs. Indeed, if you were there, you would have seen that there was what we call the palanquin dance, which was a display of dance by our chiefs in the palanquin, which was their contribution to show the unity of the people. So by and large, I think that we have made significant gains from this festival, and as we are pursuing this village project, we believe that very soon it will also become a reality, and we should be happy that we have this on hand to continue to engage at all times.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. It's been a real pleasure. You're looking beautiful once again. I just can't help but admire the cloth you're wearing, and obviously mine as well. Very beautiful Kente fabric here. And I had Joseph Toku, who is a financial committee chairman of the Agotime Kente Festival, and Elias Agbontolo Teman, who is a chairman of the Kente Weavers Association, to talk about the industry, the challenges, and the way forward. That'll be it for AM Business today. Thank you so much once again for coming. For those of you who couldn't attend this year's Agotime Kente Festival, it's always the second week in the month of September. That's it. You can keep it in your calendar. Just come and get to know how Kente is woven, get some good Kente for yourself. I'm sure you give it at some discounted prices.
Yes,
I'm just hoping that because it's a festival.
That's a wholesale price.
Yes. Because it's a festival, you can have it at a cheaper price. So just come. For those of you who want to do your weddings and all that, planning ahead, just come to the Agotime Kente Festival and get yourself some good Kente at a low price. That will be it for AM Business. Please don't go away. There's more on the AM show.
Thank you so much. Thank you.